So I want to do another video on un momento, clean my camera. It's such a professional. I'm not trying to be a professional videographer, right? I'm trying to give you advice on how to not be dicks and how to have better lives and so on and so forth. So, what is the point of my video? Okay, so some things have been brought to my attention that was brought up by friends. And I'm not dissing on friends. It's just that when certain things come up, it makes me think of stuff that's really important to cover. So, we all have our gifts and abilities and things that make us thrive. And sometimes we're not fully cognizant of what those things are. So then we get ourselves in situations that were like, oh crap, this is draining and exhausting and I'm fucked now because now I'm stuck in the situation. So I found myself in that situation when I was married and had a bunch of kids. And the person that I was married to, for whatever reason, decides that complaining and being critical and mean is the way to encourage people to behave better, maybe? I'm not sure. There's a whole bunch of layers there with this person. But maybe he has good intentions. I don't know. But his good intentions lead him to do very evil things that are exhausting, mean, and take life force energy. So when I looked into what the situation was, because I was trying to figure it out to save myself and save my marriage, I realized that he's an energy vampire to specifically me. Maybe he's not that to anyone else but me, but he was to me. So I had to learn to be very discerning and setting my boundaries with this person as to what I was going to give. I'm cleaning and working while I do this. To specifically this person, but it also taught me that I need to do that with everybody and to myself. So in the process of all of this, I learned a lot about myself. And one of the things I learned is that the children that I had with him and the children that I allowed him to have exposure to, which were not his biological children, all learned to be very needy on me. And so that was in part my fault. And they also learned that if they were abusive and mean and demanding and stomped their feet and had tantrums, that they would get me to cave and give them what they wanted. But I was no longer willing to be a doormat because I realized I have limits to what I can give. And I actually love giving. I love being available to give fully with full energy and spunk and excitement and joy. But I had to really micromanage my decisions and my time. Just a minute, Yaku. I'm trying to find a plate. And so I had to learn myself. And I learned that I'm actually not built to be a mommy to people who were constantly draining and exhausting me, in particular, screaming and demanding that I give to them. So, of course, little kids are inherently, and they're supposed to be, narcissistic, which means they take, and give very little. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to get your plate, and I had to find it first.
Where's the mic?
So that's very draining to me, exhausting to me, and paralyzing to me. So I realized I have to take breaks. And when I take breaks, then I'm a much better mommy. So I can be a mommy part-time, a phenomenal mommy part-time, but I cannot be a phenomenal mommy all the time. In particular, to children that are being influenced by a narcissist to abuse me, right? However, regardless of that, I'm a human being that needs breaks. And I'm totally okay with that. And so when I'm there, I give, and I give like fully and completely to like workaholic levels. And then I go and I take my breaks to fill my own cup. And what that looks like for me is maybe being gone for a few days, maybe being gone for a few weeks, maybe being gone for a few months, depending, because sometimes I drain myself more than others. And I'm fine with that, because sometimes people need my help, like my children and like friends and family and so forth. And I actually thrive on being able to give to others. However, after I give, I have to take breaks. And I can't just be a mommy all the time, because that doesn't give me that same need, or it doesn't give me that same satisfaction as when I'm helping others as well. So I realized that my life path, I'm not wearing makeup today because usually I've never worn makeup before, and I'm using my salve to heal my skin up because I fucked it up drinking too much alcohol too long. It was a fun party while it lasted, but there's some damage, man. My shit gonna fix that. So anyways, I realized I really thrive off helping people. But when I'm in pain and I can't do it because I didn't take breaks for me, then I get depressed because I can't do it, right? Does that mean I'm a codependent? I don't think so. I think it means I'm a person that likes to help others and that I thrive off of helping others. But I did have to learn to balance that, and I did have to learn to do it because I wanted to from my heart and because I really could, not because I was being bullied to do it, right? So like, for those of you who are bullies and authoritarian rule dictators that you think you're gonna criticize someone into being the best, that doesn't actually work. When you're criticizing people, you actually depress them, and then they have less to give, and less and less and less. And if it goes on for a longer period of time, then you deplete them completely and they basically die. So that was me in my past. I was with a person that encouraged me to be better by criticizing me, I guess. And that doesn't work for me. I thrive on praise and love and adoration, and I thrive on giving those things as well. But when I'm only giving and not getting, then I start to die, right? Physically, my body starts to actually break and die. So what I realized is a lot of people are broken, even in particular the adults. They're broken little children in adult bodies, and they don't have it available to give back to me, right? So I had to learn to give to myself, fill up my own cup, so that then I could go to these broken children in adult bodies and have something to give to them, even if it's from time to time. And I love doing that. I love being there for broken adults, as well as I love being there for my children. And if I balance that all perfectly, then I'm able to give to both and be to the best of my ability to both. And when I don't manage that well, I'm useless to everybody, right? So I can't be a mommy all the time. I can't be a helper of other people in my community all the time. But when I balance it all perfectly, then I'm able to be the best mommy when I am there, even though my children are, because when you're in a divorce situation with people that are not functioning properly as adults, They, will give very subtle hints to the children, to things that they would like the children to believe about you, and then the children will say things, not even realizing that it was fed to them, right? And then the same thing happens, adults to adults, etc. So a lot of abuse is going on. And I, as a philanthropist-minded person that I love and I do thrive on helping, had to learn to balance that by not taking any of it personal and by knowing when to take breaks and giving back to my own self, because I realized that most likely I'm not going to get it from others. Oh, good. And so I've learned to really listen to my body and to give it what it needs. So sometimes when I'm being battled against, I have to push myself farther than what my body really can handle. And so those are the times when I really burn out to super epic levels, and then I take off for like 2 months, and then, the judges come around. She's just doing it to sleep with men, or she's just selfish, she's just having a party over there, this and that and the other. And that's fine. I've learned to not care about that either, because why would I care about things that are not true? But I still go and do the things that I need to do, because I know what I need and I know what feeds me. I know what I love. I love being there for broken people who, at no fault of their own, are broken, because we're not taught how to manage this nightmare situation that we are born into on this planet. Like, our parents are broken and then they break us. Like, the whole thing's a mess, right? But does that mean that I go into being a narcissist myself, of never helping anybody? I mean, you can, that's fine. I don't judge that. If that's the bandwidth that you don't have the bandwidth to give to others, then don't, right? But I found a way to be able to give to others and to still be able to be there for my children at the times that I'm able. And I don't like to be there for my children all the time, because I'm not good at being around little tiny abusers all the time. And I don't want them to be dependent on me. I want them to be independent individuals that know how to thrive. A lot of parents, they get their self-esteem from their children and their children's accomplishments. And so they'll get really clingy onto their kids and make their kids super dependent on them. And I didn't want to do that. So I'm really good at going, okay, I've been there for you. I've done fun things. We went fishing. We went hiking. We went hot springing. We did all this wonderful stuff. Now mommy's going to go do stuff that mommy likes to do that doesn't involve you, And I have, I guess manifested and created a situation where I can do that, because my ex-husband fought me to have my children. And after a couple years of fighting, I finally was like, okay, sure, cool. Yeah, I was trying to get a nanny in Mexico so I could have this same exact thing, because I know a nanny in Mexico isn't going to teach my children to abuse me, and it's going to just be nice, and that's where I could afford it. It's just going to be nice to my kids and provide for their needs, because when you're paid to do something, you usually are better at it than someone that's not being paid, or you get fired, right? So I had that idea, but I was fought against. And so fine, my ex-husband's my nanny. And then I get to go do my thing for a while. So then when I am there, I'm going to be awesome and happy mom and fulfilled mom. That's going to look different for everybody. So we can be judges all we want, but it's not really helpful to be a judge, because we don't know all the dynamics of situations. We only know the dynamics of our personal experience, and there's so many layers. There's so many, how many billions of people on the planet? Going dang near 8 or something? There's 8 billion different scenarios. 8 billion different perspectives, 8 billion different realities, because we are all only living this experience in our mind, right? Like everything we see and interpret, we're interpreting up in this computer. And so for us to judge anyone, period, ever on anything is just made up stuff. And it's mean, and it's draining of other people's energy. It's making a fool of yourself. It's building your karmic negative stuff that's going to come back and bite you in the ass, because when you're a judge, then the universal laws and energies go, oh, really? You want to know what that's all about, really, actually? And I know that because I've done that. And I've had that come back and bite me in my ass more than once. So I want to encourage everybody to try to understand that we don't get all the details, and that the reason why the Bible encourages us to not be judges is because of that. And it says to leave the judging up to God. Okay? So you either be a helper or just be a peaceful person over there, not thinking and having opinions about others, because there is no way in hell that you're ever going to know truly anything about another situation, even other people that are living in the same house with you along your entire life. You cannot know how they're interpreting and experiencing and reacting to things and why. It's not actually humanly possible. And if you can help others, do it without expecting to even get appreciation, because people that are hurting and broken don't even have the bandwidth to realize that they should appreciate. Like, that's how burned out some of us get, right? And we're all messed up for all a variety of reasons. So, help if you can, don't if you can't. But just be quiet in your own mind. Stop allowing yourself to come up with conclusions about other people's experience, because you don't know. It's not actually humanly possible. So I hope that was useful. I have a lot of judges and a lot of experts on my life, and none of them are right. And none of them actually affect or influence my decisions. I thrive off of what I thrive off of, and I do what I do. And I know myself best because I took the time to be by myself and to shut up all the voices. I turned off all the radios, all the TVs, all the podcasts, all the everything. And I just sat there and I was with myself. And what I learned is I'm kind of fun to be around. And I have really cool ideas that are fun for me. But that has nothing to do with anyone else. So once I fill my own cup by going in the desert and sleeping by myself, or going in a hotel room because I have a cool person that's willing to pay for that shit and I'm just laying there resting most of the time, then I have the bandwidth to give to others. And I love giving to others, because there is no place where I end and you begin. And if I don't have your back, then I don't have my own back, right? So I'm not suggesting that you go give to anybody until you have it available to give. But stop wasting your energy on judging and having opinions about what other people are doing, because it's not possible, no matter how much time and energy you put into thinking about another's experience, for you to actually have a true depiction of what that is for them inside their own computer program. So adore you, love you, and go do something, take care of yourself and fill your own cup, so that then you can go give to others in your community. We go into a dirty house and we judge it. Well, go fill your own cup and then go clean their house and shut the fuck up more. Love you. Thank you for listening and finding value in what I say.